Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick 18 of my favorite 31 hard rock and heavy metal albums of the 80s. That's right, we're counting down all month long our 31 favorites because, of course, we have 31 days in the month of May. Not an easy task finding a favorite 31 albums on the hard and heavy side from a decade that was most notable for hard and heavy albums, right? And lots of great ones, hundreds of great ones, but I've whittled it down. Happy Mother's Day to everybody before I forget. To all you mothers out there, thanks for all you do. We appreciate you. We love you. Today is your day, so thanks for watching. If you are a mother, if you're not, if you're a guy, give some love to your mom, your wife, your daughter-in-law, your daughter, all the mothers in your lives. Give them some love, right? So anyway, let's move on to our pick for today, right? So this is the third studio album from this American band, released in 1981, recorded at Green Street Recording in New York City, excuse me, for Elektra Records here in the States. Victory over in Japan, produced by Steve Loeb and Billy Arnell. I'm talking about Fire Down Under from Riot. All you people always saying, Pete, you never talk about Riot enough on the channel. When are you going to rank the albums of Riot? Well, they got a ton of albums. I probably only have like maybe a half a dozen, if that. They got so many others. Then there's Riot 5 and Riot this, Riot that, all these different lineups and stuff. So I do appreciate the early part of the catalog quite a bit. I just haven't, there's only a million bands that you can possibly give all your attention to. And I've lost track with Riot starting probably by the late 80s or so. But anyway, I digress. Back to this album. This is one of the great heavy metal albums of all time, one of the great U.S. heavy metal albums of all time, by a great band, arguably their strongest lineup, right? Guy Speranza on vocals, Mark Real on guitar, Rick Ventura on guitar, Kip Lemming on bass, and Sandy Slavin on drums, right? I remember the first time I heard this album, I actually was sitting in a friend's car in the parking lot of Goshen Central High School before school started, because generally this was probably my, this came out, when did I say this came out? 81? I said, yeah, this came out in 81. So I probably didn't hear this, so I was 15 at the time. I don't think I heard this till the following year, because I think by then we were already starting to drive into school. So I remember sitting in my friend's car, he had the cassette, popped in and he goes, you got to hear this cool new band, Riot. Meanwhile, they already been around for a couple of years. And it played me this, and it just absolutely blew me away. And I was like, wow, I really like that a lot. And for months, I was listening to this nonstop. So many great songs on here. I mean, that's the thing with this album. It's like, it's filled with like short, quick to the point, kick-ass songs. Most songs 3 to 4 minutes thereabouts. You got the amazing opener, Swords and Tequila. It's always been hard for me to even pick my favorite track from this album, right? Swords and Tequila, just such a great anthem. The music of Riot, to me, always, even though they're an American band, firmly rooted in the new wave of British heavy metal sound that was going on across the pond at the same time. The title track, Fire Down Under, is great. There's great guitar work on this album. The vocals are great. The choruses are great. Feel the Same, another great song. Outlaw. Outlaw might be my favorite song on there. I think for me, Swords and Tequila, Fire Down Under, Outlaw, Don't Bring Me Down is next up. That's really good too. Over on side 2, you got Don't Hold Back. Great song. Another one of my favorites. Altar of the King, killer. Another of my favorites. No Lies is terrific. You got then Run for Your Life, another great song, and then Flashbacks. And I remember listening to Flashbacks, and that's like kind of like a weird track. Got all this kind of like whammy bar craziness going on and stuff like that. It's really, really cool album. There are the guys on the back of the cover, right? And of course, you got the crazy mascot. I always forget what his name is, but appears on a bunch of their early albums and most of their albums, I think, in one form or another. Just a classic heavy metal album. And again, I like other Riot albums too that kind of surround it, but to me, none of them will ever equal this. And this is a real deal. This is an example of a band that released one of the seminal albums of a time period, but yet never kind of achieved the fame and fortune and acclaim of a lot of other bands who were putting out stuff around them, who shot up to stardom that maybe weren't even as good, right? I mean, I think Riot were a band that were severely underrated and underappreciated, And you know, maybe it had to do with, you know, constant changing of singers and all that. I don't really know, but they just never kind of rose to the big time. And I think they were, me personally, were a lot better than other bands of the same time period who really made it, right? And they should have, in my opinion. This is a classic album. If you've never heard Fire Down Under, it's melodic, it's memorable, it's anthemic, great guitar work, it's heavy, the vocals are killer. I mean, everything about this album is just absolutely terrific. So that is my pick for today. Pick number 18, Fire Down Under from Riot. Let us know what you think of this album in the comments below, as well as your pick for today, your pick number 18, as we count on our way to number 1. And visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. And also down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page. So thanks for investigating all that, and stay tuned for ranking the albums coming up in just a little bit. We've got the solo catalog of Glenn Hughes, the voice of rock. So I'll see you in a little bit. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Once again, happy Mother's Day. Take care. Bye-bye.